You do not need a new year or a perfect routine to change your life. You need one full day without distraction, no social media, no constant noise, no avoidance. Because when your mind finally becomes quiet, it becomes obvious what is destroying your life. You delay difficult decisions. You distract yourself when you feel uncomfortable. You stay busy so you do not have to think clearly about what is actually wrong. A single focused day can interrupt that pattern. Not because your entire life changes in 24 hours, but because you finally stop feeding the habits that keep your life the same. Start with one full day without unnecessary input. No social media, no endless videos, no constant messaging, no background noise all day. You do not realize how much mental energy disappears into small distractions until you remove them. Most people are overstimulated from the moment they wake up. Notifications, scrolling, entertainment, opinions, comparisons. Your brain never gets a quiet moment to process anything. When your attention is constantly interrupted, your thinking becomes reactive. You stop making deliberate decisions. You move from one distraction to the next. A quiet day changes that. You begin noticing what you normally avoid. You notice how restless you feel without your phone. You notice how often you reach for stimulation automatically. You notice which thoughts immediately show up when there is nothing distracting you. That awareness matters because you cannot change patterns you never observe. Spend part of the day alone. No music, no podcast, no multitasking. Sit with your thoughts long enough to hear them clearly. Ask yourself direct questions. What part of your life currently feels out of control? What habits are making your days worse? What are you avoiding? What are you pretending is fine even though you know it is not? Be specific. General frustration creates no change. Specific awareness does. Do not write things like, "I need to do better." Write the real issue. "I sleep at 2 a.m. every night." "I avoid difficult conversations." "I waste 5 hours a day online." "I say yes because I want approval." Clear language forces honesty. After that, identify the habits that create most of your problems. Usually it is not 10 different things. It is a small number of repeated behaviors. Poor sleep affects your energy, focus, mood, and discipline. Constant phone use destroys attention span. Lack of exercise lowers energy and mental resilience. Avoiding difficult work creates anxiety that follows you all day. Most people know exactly which habits are hurting them. They just keep negotiating with them. Stop negotiating. You do not need a dramatic transformation. You need fewer self-destructive defaults. Now clean your environment. Your environment influences your behavior more than motivation does. If your room is chaotic, your attention becomes fragmented. If your phone is full of distractions, you will keep using them. If unhealthy habits are easy to access, you will repeat them automatically. Remove what wastes your time. Delete apps you compulsively open. Clean your workspace. Throw away things connected to habits you are trying to stop. Make good decisions easier and bad decisions harder. That is more effective than relying on willpower every day. Next, move your body, not to punish yourself, not for aesthetics, to reset your nervous system. Go for a long walk, lift weights, run, stretch. Do something physically demanding enough to wake your body up. Physical movement changes your mental state faster than endless thinking does. Many people spend years trapped in their own heads without realizing they barely move. Exercise improves focus, emotional regulation, stress tolerance, and sleep quality. Those are not motivational ideas. They are measurable effects. Your body and mind are connected whether you pay attention to it or not. Then spend time writing, not polished journaling, not productivity lists. Write honestly, write what you are angry about, write what you regret, write what keeps repeating in your life, write what you know you need to change. Writing slows your thinking down enough to examine it. A thought feels overwhelming in your head because it constantly moves. On paper, it becomes concrete. You can finally look at it directly. This is also where you define what matters. Most people never decide what they actually want their days to look like. They react to pressure, urgency, and convenience. Define better standards. What time do you want to wake up? What kind of work do you want to produce? Who do you want around you? How do you want to spend your attention? If you never define those things, outside influences will define them for you. At some point during the day, sit in complete silence for at least 20 minutes. No stimulation, no checking your phone halfway through, no trying to optimize the experience. Just sit still. This is difficult for many people because silence exposes mental clutter. You notice unfinished thoughts, unresolved stress, insecurity, frustration, and emotional exhaustion. That discomfort is useful. Most people spend years escaping internal discomfort instead of understanding it. Silence gives you information. You start noticing which thoughts repeat constantly. Those patterns usually point toward unresolved problems. Do not rush to escape that awareness. You also need to look at your relationships honestly. Some people increase your focus, stability, and self-respect. Others drain your time, attention, and emotional energy. Pay attention to how you feel after spending time with certain people. You do not need to cut everyone off, but you do need boundaries. Your environment includes people, not just physical spaces. If your daily interactions are built around negativity, distraction, gossip, or constant comparison, your mindset will eventually reflect it. Choose better inputs. By the end of the day, your goal is not perfection. Your goal is clarity. You want to leave the day understanding 3 things. What is hurting your life right now? What needs to change first? What you are no longer willing to tolerate from yourself. That last part matters. Most people think their lives improve when they learn more. But information rarely changes behavior. You can read books about productivity, watch videos about discipline, listen to podcasts about mental health, and still repeat the same patterns every day. Because knowledge does not create change by itself. Change begins when you become unwilling to continue living in a way that is clearly hurting you. That is the real turning point. Not when you feel motivated, not when circumstances become easier, not when you finally find the perfect plan, when the cost of staying the same becomes more painful than the discomfort of changing. Until that moment, your habits still feel negotiable. You tell yourself that tomorrow will be different, that one more late night does not matter, that one more hour scrolling is harmless, that one more week of avoidance is acceptable. But every repeated action teaches your brain what you are willing to tolerate. Your standards are not what you say you want. Your standards are what you consistently allow. If you keep allowing behaviors that drain your energy, destroy your focus, and weaken your self-respect, those behaviors become your normal. And what feels normal eventually feels permanent. The moment your standards change, your decisions change. You stop asking whether you feel like doing what matters. You stop debating with habits that are clearly damaging your life. You simply decide that certain actions no longer belong in the person you are becoming. That decision is where meaningful change begins. Real change usually starts when your standards change, not when you feel inspired, not when you watch another video. When you decide certain behaviors are no longer acceptable, that decision creates momentum. Then make your life simpler. Most people fail because they create unrealistic systems. Do not try to rebuild your entire life overnight. Choose a few actions you can repeat consistently. Go to sleep earlier. Train 3 or 4 times a week. Stop starting your mornings with your phone. Finish important work before distractions. Spend less time consuming and more time building. Small, consistent actions are more powerful than short bursts of extreme motivation. A focused day can change your direction because it interrupts autopilot. For one day, you stop reacting. You stop distracting yourself. You stop avoiding obvious problems. You pay attention. That alone creates clarity most people never give themselves enough time to reach. Your life may not completely change in one day, but your decisions can. Your decisions shape everything that happens after that.